Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyadesh Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanangana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurum Vaisnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Lagunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Visakambitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6. Prescribed duties for mankind. And this King Chittaketu sees the Lord. Yes, darshan of the Lord. Is it there? No signal, huh? Maybe in your cell phone, if you carry your cell phone with you. 6:16:24. Dehendriya. Deha, Indriya, Prana, Mana, Diya, Ami, Yat Ang Sabidha, Pracharanti, Karmashu, Na, Iva, Anyada, Luham, Iva, Aprataptam, Staneshu, Tat, Dastri Apadesham, Eti, Dehendriya Pranamanodiyomi, Dehendriya Pranamanodiyomi, Pranamanodiyomi, Yad Ang Sabidha Pacharanti Karmasu, Yad Ang Sabidha Pracharanti Karmasu, Naivanyadalohang iva prataptam, Naivanyadalohang iva praptatam, Stane sutadrasta pade samvedi, Stane sutadrasta pade samvedi, Dehendriya prana manodiyomi yat amsa vidha pacharanti karmashu naibang yagaloham iva prataptam stane sudatta padesameti. Somebody else? Dehendriya prana manodiyomi yaram sividha pacharanti karmasu naivajayam loham iva prataptam yaram sividha pacharanti karmasu Word for word meaning, Deha, the body, Indriya, senses, Prana, life airs, Mana, mind, Diya, and intelligence, Ami, all those, Yat Ansha Vidha, being influenced by rays of Brahman, or the Supreme Lord. Pracharanti, they move. Karmashu, in various activities. No, not. Eva, indeed. Anyada. At other times. Loham, iron. Eva, like. Aprataptam, not heated by fire. Staneshu, in those circumstances. Tat, that. Dastrir apadesham, the name of a subject matter. Iti, achieves. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K. As iron has the power to burn when made red hot in the association of fire, so the body, senses, living force, mind, and intelligence, although merely lumps of matter, can function in their activities when infused with a particle of consciousness by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As iron cannot burn unless heated by fire, the bodily senses cannot act unless favored by the Supreme Brahman. Everybody please repeat. As iron has the power to burn, when made red hot, in the association of fire, so the body, senses, living force, mind and intelligence, although merely lumps of matter, can function in their activities when infused with a particle of consciousness by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As iron cannot burn unless heated by fire, the bodily senses cannot act unless favored by the Supreme Brahman. Purport. Red hot iron can burn, but it cannot burn the original fire. Therefore, the consciousness of the small particle of Brahman is fully dependent on the power of the Supreme Brahman. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Mata smitir jnanam apuhanam cha. From me, the conditioned soul receives memory, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The power for activities comes from the Supreme Lord, and when the Lord withdraws this power, the conditioned soul no longer has energy with which to act through the various senses. The body includes 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 active senses, and the mind. But actually, these are merely lumps of matter. For example, the brain is nothing but matter. But when electrified by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the brain can act just as iron can burn when made red hot by the influence of fire. The brain can act while we are awake or even while we are dreaming. But when we are fast asleep or unconscious, the brain is inactive. Since the brain is a lump of matter, it does not have independent power with which to act. It can act only when favored by the influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Brahman or Parabrahman. This is the way to understand how the Supreme Brahman, Krishna, is present everywhere, just as the sunshine is present because of the sun god in the sun globe. The Supreme Lord is called Rishikesh. He is the only conductor of the senses. Unless empowered by his energy, our senses cannot act. In other words, he is the only seer, the only worker, the only listener, and the only active principle or supreme controller. Jai. Dahendriya prana manodiyomi yad amsha vidha pacharanti karmasu naivang yadaloham iva prataptam stani sutadrasta pati samheti. The analogy is given here about the nature of the soul and also of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That ultimately, without the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nothing can exist. Nothing exists. He is the source of everything, and he is also, again, not attached or not covered or not being affected by the material energy that he created. The material energy, he says, been created because of the desire of the jivas to enjoy separate from Krishna. It is not the desire of the Lord for the material world to manifest or be created. The propensity to enjoy is there for everyone, and especially the conditioned souls, they want to enjoy without Krishna. So now, we develop this propensity to be independent. But it is not possible to fully be independent. We all have to fully depend on the Supreme Lord. So here, the analogy of the iron and the fire can burn by putting the iron into the fire. It will act like fire. So this original fire is always there. But Prabhupada gave that, what did he say? That you cannot infuse again that the living entity will be able to lit the big fire. So, red hot iron. Prabhupada also gave an example that if we engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness, in service 24 hours a day, then we become Krishna eyes. We become pure. If we are engaged 24 hours in Krishna conscious activities, then the energy of the Maya cannot touch the devotee. He is free, he is unaffected, he is shielded. He has some shield that Maya cannot attract. Which she will try, but your devotee is like Haridas Thakur. He was being enticed by a prostitute in the middle of the night because the Kazi became envious. He was envious of Haridas Thakur. He says in his kingdom there should not be chanting. And he was born in a Muslim family. Muslim, not even from the Hindu family or Vaishnava family, to be Namacharya. So, yeah, it says here, but it cannot burn the original fire. So, the living entities is like that. They become pure, but they cannot be more pure than the Supreme Personality of Godhead who created us. And therefore, Haridas Thakur, he was protected by this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We were discussing that the other day, isn't it? That the consciousness is very small, is 1/10,000. Or the soul, because consciousness is the symptom of the soul. It is the soul, but when we say consciousness, it's like the identification for oneself. The original, which is Krishna consciousness, that is the soul. So, it says that the size is 1/10,000, the tip of our hair. Not the length of our hair. For in that case, those who have longer hairs, they have bigger souls. No, it's the tip. No, like the very. Then you cut it into 10,000. Is it possible to cut into 10,000? First of all, maybe it is possible, but then it'll be invisible. It'll be like you cannot. The dot. You know, the dot of a pen, it has a diameter also, but still, when you say spiritual, because the jiva is spiritual, and this is the process whereby to revive our original Krishna consciousness is to develop and use our senses in the service of the Lord. It's given that the whatever activities that we perform by using our senses, then the energy of Maya will not be able to touch or govern that devotee. Is now under the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. There are two Mayas, Mahamaya and Yoga Maya. We have to be either in either one of those Maya, either Mahamaya or this material. Maha means moha, or this divine energy, but it's illusion. Illusion in a sense because it is temporary, it never lasts. That is the difference between spiritual activities rendered service towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead using various senses. That includes the mind. One cannot practice Krishna consciousness without controlling the mind. It is not possible. This is the first thing to be curtailed. The dictations of the crazy mind. Crazy because always desiring many, many things for one's own sense enjoyment, which cannot be satisfied. So the mind, there is a book written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and it was translated by His Holiness Jayapatak Swami. And he also gave some of his realization and more clarity. It's called Vaishnav K. It's preaching to the mind. The translation of Vaishnav K means, "O mind, what kind of Vaishnav are you?" We have to preach to our mind, not to be carried away by the mind. Unless the mind is thinking of Krishna, then that is the goal, to think of Krishna 24 hours. For the devotee, 24 hours is fully engaged. Not a single moment is wasted. Is fully packed. And don't leave a gap for Maya to enter to the mind. If it happens, ignore immediately. If it's Maya, ignore immediately. If it's Krishna, entertain more. It's like, it's like a radar. It's like Maya detector, Maya radar detector. It comes, and she's very tricky in many ways. In many ways. Sometimes devotee will think, "Oh, I'm doing this for Krishna." But Krishna, he may be saying, "I'm doing it for Krishna," but maybe it's for Krishna, maybe it is not for Krishna, maybe it's for himself. It's just using it as an excuse. Because the mind, it says, when the mind becomes peaceful or fully under control, then the super soul is already reached. The super soul, the Paramatma within our heart, within everyone's heart, everywhere. He is everywhere in the entire universe. Kshirdakashaya Vishnu. He has an ocean of milk also. Kshir Shagar. So the living entities become under the jurisdiction of the material energy. This body is a lump of matter, merely lumps of matter. This says 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 active senses in the mind, but actually these are merely lumps of matter. The body will not be activated if the jiva is not inside the body. The body is like vegetable. That's it. In the brain, everything there, whatever. But if the soul is not there, then the body is just made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. Ego again. That still it is material. But our real ego is that we are servants of the servants of the servants of Lord Krishna. Gopi, Bhartur, Padakamalir, Dasa, Dasa, Das. So we have the same material lump of matters. We use, if we use for Krishna's service, then it becomes spiritualized. And again, the origin of the jiva is the Parabrahman. Again, the ultimate source. It was mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there was a verse, there's written there by Srila Vyasadeva that unless one, if he wants to enjoy the material energy but not accepting, or if he wants to be happy, yes, if he wants to be happy but not accepting the supremacy of the Supreme Lord being the ultimate creator, if one does not accept that, then he cannot become successful. So if we use all of these senses for the service of the Lord, that's the only time we can be happy. We use the same senses, matter, these lumps of matter. The soul will not be happy if just want to enjoy the material energy, because it is the soul inside that is being he is the one who is either enjoying or suffering. He's like riding in the chariot. Chariot is the body, and the senses are the horses. It says in the Bhagavad Gita. And the reins is what? Which is the rein? Is it the intelligence? Yes? Yes? The mind is the driver? Or is it the other way around? Huh? The intelligence has to be very strong. Higher than the mind is the intelligence. So when the intelligence is sharp, it's been used for cultivating knowledge based from the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other Vedic literatures, then the mind can be curtailed. But then again, higher than the intelligence is the ego. If one misidentify one's body to be the self, then he can get easily be entangled again and again in the material world. It's like in the World Wide Web. You get entangled there, you cannot get out for hours. Wasting so much time. Some people, they waste so much time. It's a waste of time if it has nothing to do with Krishna. What do we gain from that? Nothing. So the brain, says here, is a lump of matter. It does not have independent power with which to act. It can only act when favored by the influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So again, we use everything for the service of the Lord. So we have the brain, Brain is like the repository uh, whereby we use for remembrance, and it's like yes, you can withdraw information, you can put information, but sometimes you forgot something. It's in your mind, not in your mind. It's there in you, in your mind, yes, but you cannot remember. That remembrance and forgetfulness is Krishna. Uh, he is Rishikesh. Sarvapadi binirmuktam. Uh, Sarvapadi binirmuktam. Uh, Risikena Risikesa Sevanan Bhaktir Uchate. Tatparatbena nirmalam. Sarvapadi binirmuktam. Tatparatbena nirmalam. Risikena Rishikesh Sevanam Uchate. Rishikesh. So we use the same senses in serving the Supreme Lord, and because he is Rishikesh, he is meant to be pleased. His senses are meant to be pleased by the jivas, who also have senses, and the proper use of the senses is to utilize for the service and the pleasure of Rishikesh. Then one can be free. He is the conductor of the senses. We use everything, again, it's like giving back to Krishna, or just like offering Ganga back to Ganga, or what that amount of Ganga can do. Ganga is already full. What will it do to Ganga? But it is for our own benefit when we offer that. Or it's like in Purnima, sometimes also they worship or offer respect to the moon with gilam. So how is that going to increase the effulgence of the moon? In the full moon, you only need one moon. You don't need many stars, unlimited stars. Only one moon, right? But they offer also lamp, like in Diwali. Yeah, go deep everywhere. The houses, and also Modi use it for counteracting the pandemic. Yes. Is it powerful? Very powerful. It's an offering of love. So whatever we have, we offer to Krishna, and therefore He will empower us unlimitedly as well. The pure devotee has unlimited power, practically. And just like, for example, Narad Muni, sometimes he's called Bhagavan, because he is exhibiting some of the features of Lord Krishna, but not to the unlimited degree. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'm going to stop here. You have any question or comments? Yes. Yes. Either you have to be in one Maya, either Yoga Maya or Maha Maya. Me too, not just you, all of us here. Huh?
Is it only Krishna's eternal associates that fall under Yoga Maya, or can devotees?
No. Only the pure devotees. This is the covering energy of the Supreme Lord that the devotee doesn't see Krishna as God. That makes their relationship more intense. Because if there is, in Vaikuntha, is different. It's different. They have also relationship with Lord Krishna, but with awe and reverence. Over there, in the Vaikuntha planets, Yoga Maya also is there. Only in the material world is Mahamaya. And the pure devotees who are here, they're not under the jurisdiction of Mahamaya. Even though we may see them. See, as soon as we act 24 hours, yes, in Krishna consciousness, only always thinking of Krishna, then it's a different energy now. That's one is being in like a bubble. Uh, so he's free. He's free from lamentation. He's free from dualities, honor and dishonor, uh, joy or sorrow, fame or infamy. Is in the yes. He's not in Mahamaya. He's in Yogamaya.
I was thinking like the example of Maharaj Parikshit when he threw this dead snake actually into Rishi. So it was totally out of character for him to do something like that.
Yeah.
And similarly, we sometimes see devotees amongst us that very advanced devotees, but they'll just do something like, what? You know, that's bewildering. And
Yeah.
would that be Yoga Maya?
Well, we cannot imitate Parikshit Maharaj. That was the arrangement for that. He says he's a pure devotee of the Lord. And he's, you may say, temporarily he became covered up. He's not, he's a pure devotee of the Lord is not supposed to be free from thirst or hunger, or he is beyond that. So for him to be thirsty is arranged by Yoga Maya, so that the Srimad Bhagavatam will be spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. The whole history is there. This arranged by Lord Krishna ultimately. His hands is everywhere. But whatever is going on with the conditioned souls, they're under the Mahamaya potency. So yes, Parikshit Maharaj was put into that situation, isn't it? So that Bhagavatam can be spoken. Even though he is under the Yogamaya potency, he was even protected even from the womb of his mother by Supreme Lord. His chakra. Chakra is for protection. So how come he act in such a way, looks like in a mode of ignorance and passion? So some devotees also may do, but only Acharya can change things. We should not. This Prabhupada says that the problem with you Westerners, you like keep on changing. It's good if it's for the benefit of everyone. It's okay, but something which is unbroken, don't fix it. Yeah, but there should be a lot of improvements how we can become Krishna conscious. But other things that is working, you don't change. You just keep going. Deity worship is like that also. When we worship the deity, it doesn't change every day. Whatever the pujari, whatever the pujari will think, what to do. No, it's the same. Flavor differs, yes. Variegatedness, yes. But the same process of archanam every day. Acharyas, they can change according to time, place, and circumstances. So for us, it may be difficult to understand also. So it is not for us to judge. uh, Let it, if it's meant to be like that. But Krishna is the ultimate controller. We should always remember that. Mm-mm. Says here. In other words, he is the only seer. That means he is the only seer, witness. He sees everything. The only worker. Oh, why the only worker? Huh? Because this energy works under him. He's not the worker, but the energy works. His energy. He is aloof. The only listener is always listening. So we have to be careful also of our thoughts. It's embarrassing. Krishna is seeing my thoughts. Hare Krishna. Huh? It's like you don't want to show to anyone, isn't it? But Krishna can see. We cannot hide. We cannot hide anything. It's like transparency is there, like a crystal film, white, no color. The only listener. So we're better careful of also what we desire, because Krishna can hear our desires as well. What to desire? The desire should be always that Krishna is the enjoyer. Then there is no more karma. There is karma, Krishna karma. Now there's another thing, Krishna karma. I was listening to Prabhupada's class where I was saying the devotees of the Lord are very fortunate to be able to engage in service to the Lord. And the only active principle or supreme controller, this is the last word Prabhupada used, and the only active principle or supreme controller. So, yes, without the will of the providence, not even a blade of grass moves. So, nothing happens by chance. There's no such thing as, good luck. There's no such thing like that. Good luck. You created it. You created it. We are the creator. We are the architect of our future. We're also the destructor of our future. So let Lord Krishna be our main guide. If we say, "Oh Krishna, today I am yours," then let Krishna be the chariot driver. Not that we want Krishna to be the chariot driver, means let him direct or lead our way back to Godhead. He is the supreme controller. We cannot do anything anyways. We are controlled. If we act contrary to Krishna consciousness, then Maya will take care of us. And if we act according to Krishna's desire, then that is the perfection. It's what we call desireless. Okay, anything else? Yes, last question. Oh, wait. You are too much fast.
his mind can be controlled by
Stick to the mind. Stick to the mind.
so the senses and mind and intelligence can be controlled by the activities of Krishna, right?
By
Doing the service corporation.
that's how we control by serving, using everything for Krishna's service. Yes.
So it is written here that living force can also be controlled. So how it can?
What's that again?
Living force.
Let me see. Where is that?
The translation. Second.
As iron cannot burn unless heated by fire, the bodily senses cannot act unless favored by the Supreme Brahman. Is that the one? The first one. As iron has the power to burn when made red hot in the association of fire, so the body, senses, living force, mind, and intelligence, although merely lamps of matter, can function in their activities when infused with a particle. No, this living force here is not lumps of matter. It's just like, again, even all together, the living entity and all those elements made of matter, gross and subtle, it is the Supreme Lord who is the, like, when you say infused, he's the one who trigger. You know what it means by trigger? It's like you need the person to push a button. The machine will not work. You can have a car. Oh, now you have Tesla, so you can drive. But still, you have to push button to start. It will not start by itself, but it can drive by itself. Yes, they have that delivery now. In some places in the world, they deliver without any driver. But someone has to push the button, someone has to be, so that's Krishna. Okay? Yes. Even the consciousness within the living entity, this is by Krishna himself. Time is up. Okay. Haribo. Srila Prabhupada K. Dai Gaur Sitana Premanande. Hey. Haribo. Dhanavad. What time Kirtan starts? That's early, huh? 10?
10 to 10.
Not 10 to 12?